Hi, Hiba. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
And tonight's exciting because we're talking about, I like to say, the hidden gem right here in Torrance, the Madrona Marsh. And this Saturday, the Friends of Madrona Marsh are hosting a fundraiser at the preserve. So tell me about it.
So, the Friends of Madrona Marsh are the 501c3. They're really the backbone to our success. The City of Torrance work closely with the Friends of Madrona Marsh to be able to fulfill our mission, and that is preservation, education, and aesthetics. And so, this fundraiser is really important. They are able to do a fundraiser every year. This year, the topic's going to be Walk Through Time, which is inspired by Tracy Drake. It was a new exhibit and part of her passion before she left Madrona. She's now parks managers, and really, it talks about the history of Madrona, walking through the time from the dinosaur ages all the way to Spanish and Tongva, all the way to today. And then there's a couple other new exhibits that you can explore the different type of habitats, and she's going to mention all of that. She's going to give a live presentation. The fundraiser is this Saturday, August 17th, from 6 to 10 p.m. It's $50 a ticket. That includes your food and drinks. There'll be lots of auction baskets and items. We encourage you guys to come down to Madrona Marsh Nature Center, buy a ticket. You can also go on to PayPal through Friends of Madrona Marsh website, supporting a great cause, and we hope that you guys can attend the fundraiser. We'd love to have everyone there.
And as you just mentioned, Tracy Drake, the former manager at the Madrona Marsh Preserve, will be a keynote speaker. And tell me a little bit more about what the fundraiser will support.
Sure. So, as I mentioned, they're really our backbone, but a lot of the funding helps with restoration of plants and animals and making sure that the preserve continues to thrive, not only for plants and animals, but also people. So, we're able to restore areas that might need a little bit of extra help so we can increase our biodiversity. And that's really important for us to be able to do. And as you know, Madrona Marsh is a really special place in the city of Torrance. In fact, we're one of the top 100 birding spots in the country.
Oh, wow.
So that really shows how important the restoration projects are. And we're incredibly grateful for the Friends of Madrona Marsh to be able to help make this possible.
So tickets are $50, and I do want to mention it's only for adults, and that will include drink and food.
Yes, correct. And there'll also be live music. You'll be able to tour the native garden and all throughout the center.
You mentioned earlier, I'm going to switch gears a little bit, about the interactive exhibit. So the great thing is people come out to the fundraiser, they will also be able to explore the marsh that evening and check out the new exhibit. So tell me, this was a long time coming. It's finally open to the public, and it really shares the true history of what the marsh is.
Yeah, it really does. And there's the interactive exhibits that you mentioned. That's a really great chance for people to hands-on learning, to be able to learn about the different habitats. We have coastal prairie, we have vernal marsh, we have the vernal pool, and we have the willow scrublands. If you enter into our atrium, you'll learn about each of those habitats. And within those little sections, you get to feel, touch, and use all your senses to explore the mammals, the birds, the insects, all the animals that thrive there. And it's really incredible because we want them to be aware before they go on the preserve, what are the things they might see? Why are they important? How can they help protect them in their natural habitat?
We're going to talk a little bit more about what the marsh is, but the marsh is a vernal pool, essentially, right?
Yeah, well, we have vernal pools and we also have the vernal marsh. The vernal pool is basically an indentation, a natural indentation in the land. It has a clay-like layer that can hold natural rainwater. It's a very sensitive habitat. In fact, we're one of the only remaining vernal pools in Los Angeles County left. Really sensitive habitat. So it's important that we preserve it. It's millions of resting invertebrates, and when the water's just right and the temperature's just right, all of those resting invertebrates will hatch, come alive, and create an ecosystem and allow birds and insects to be able to have food to eat. We manage those very closely. And then there's the vernal marsh, and this is all filled through fresh water. And the vernal marsh is about 60% of the entire 45 acres when it's entirely full.
Wow.
Last year we had 3.6 inches of rain. This year we had 17 inches of rain. So we really want to encourage people to come down, see the remaining water that remains in the marsh. We are not wet year-round. It's a seasonal marsh. So right now we do have water in the vernal marsh. We'll probably have water till the end of August, and then after that it will be completely dry. So not much longer will we have water.
And that's because the aquatic birds will also be migrating. So what will people expect to see if they come out after August?
Right, sure. So right towards the end of August, it's really going to start to dry. You're going to see a lot of migratory birds. Right now, we have hundreds and hundreds of annual sunflowers and poppies blooming.
Oh,
And I would say in the
beautiful.
next month, they're going to start to provide food for birds and insects. So as these birds migrate through, our bird population might increase, and it's starting to dry out, and those annual flowers will start to die off and decompose. And in the fall, it becomes a little more foggy and a little cooler, and we start to prepare for the rains. You're going to see a lot of management on the land. You're going to see our staff working hard to prepare for the rains. We hope for rains again yet in the early winter as we did this last year, and then it starts its cycle all over again.
Such an amazing place. And what's great about the marsh is that you have events year round, and there's so many exciting events happening throughout the year. So I want our viewers to definitely know about them. Tell me a little bit about what people can expect and come out to.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of great things happening at Madrona right now. Our staff's working really hard to provide opportunities for the entire community, from children all the way to seniors. So we have some really special events happening in September. We have our Grandparents Senior Stroll Day in September. These can all be found in seasons and also on our website. And then we have wildlife photography, we have Turtle and Tortoise Day, and then of course we have Make a Difference Day, October 26th. I would like to invite our community out to share and Make a Difference Day. It's a great opportunity to get out, make a difference, help us manage this 45-acre beautiful preserve. As I mentioned, it's important for people to be able to thrive, but we really could not do it without our community. So we invite you guys to come out October 26th, and you'll be helping remove non-native plants and pick up trash, and there'll also be an educational presentation that day.
And Melissa, you were mentioning to me the marsh really depends on the volunteers. More than 5,000 volunteers work at the marsh every year. So tell me a little bit about the opportunities to give back to the marsh.
Right, so you're right. We have over 5,000 volunteers a year. That's a big number, and we are incredibly grateful for that. We have over 40 permanent volunteers, and we could not function without these volunteers. We have a small staff of part-time group that work on the land, and so every Saturday during the school year we'll have anywhere from 60 to 100 middle school to college students volunteering for school credit hours, and some come out just because they want to make a difference and they want to contribute to our success. But really what they're doing is they're helping us remove and manage remove non-native plants to help us manage the preserve. And that's really important because those non-native plants compete with our native plants for resources. So food, shelter, water, and without them we really could not do it. Other opportunities include animal care. We have a small collection of ambassador animals, and really those animals are allow people to get up close and learn about a snake or learn about a toad and why are they important and why should we protect them. And these are animals that they would see on the preserve. Also, we have front desk volunteers we're looking for right now. They greet our guests, they give tours, they help with clerical type things. And then we have docents. Docents lead hundreds of tours every year.
Wow.
And we have 12 to 15 current docents that do that, and we're incredibly grateful for them. We get about 2,400 school kids that come through every year, and that number is significantly increasing every year. So we're always recruiting docents. If you're interested in leading tours, we'd love to have you. And then there's many other opportunities like Propagation Society, if you like working in the nursery, or even working on the land on Saturdays, and then data entry as well.
Well, it's amazing. And for many people who haven't visited the marsh, you told me there's more than 40 species of birds alone and more than 700 species of plants and animals throughout the year. That's a lot. So what can you tell people about the marsh who've never visited before?
Right. I think what's exciting is I mentioned we're one of the top 100 birding spots in the country. That really says a lot about Madrona. But to have 730 species of plants and animals on a 45-acre preserve is really spectacular. It shows that we're doing something right and we're successful, and we're going to continue to work hard to protect that preserve and increase the biodiversity. What we'd like people to know is to come down, take a hike. We have many free hikes that we offer every weekend. We have nature walks, we have tyke hikes, we have bird walks to get out, explore, remove yourself from the busy world that we live in today, and immerse yourself with nature. Also, that the city of Torrance has so much potential, and everyone can have the ability to plant native plants in their backyard to include pollinators or encourage pollinators like butterflies and bees, and see the benefit to them in your backyard. We do have a native garden at the Nature Center that we use as an example to help inspire the community to plant natives. So that's also another option if you come visit the Nature Center. We can help teach you guys how to do that as well.
There are so many events, as you mentioned earlier, that are coming, but you and your staff are also working on some really exciting projects in the near future. Are there any you'd like to mention?
Sure, yeah. Our staff's working really hard right now on developing our Land Steward program. It's a program that we've had in existence, but we're working on expanding that. And as our numbers increase, we had 46,000 visitors last year. Wow. Compared to 35,000 a couple years ago. So as our numbers increase, it's important that we have land stewards out there to help protect the land, help provide people educational opportunities. So that's a program we're currently working on expanding. We work with local universities, UCLA, USC, Long Beach State University on geology and water quality projects. So we're constantly working with to improve our understanding of the water quality, which is really important. We also have many Eagle Scouts that come through, Boy Scouts doing badges, things like that. And yeah, we're continuing to grow our programs and expand and make sure we're reaching all of the community and providing opportunities.
So much exciting stuff happening at the Madrona Marsh, and of course, people can come to the fundraiser this Saturday and they can buy their tickets right now. Can they buy tickets at the door, or is it just recommended to buy them in advance?
It's recommended to buy them in advance so they can do a proper head count. Because they are nonprofit, we want to make sure we can do that in advance. But yes, you're always welcome to buy tickets the day of. You can also buy online, as I mentioned, on their PayPal account at their website. Friends of Madrona Marsh.
Thank you so much, Melissa.
Yeah, thank you for having me. We hope to see you guys Saturday.
Have a great night.
You too.
And as I just mentioned, the fundraiser is this Saturday. It's called Walking Through Time, and tickets